Unfortunately, this past weekend, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins was killed at the age of 24. Now, he was killed as he was running alongside the I 595 trying to cross lanes with oncoming traffic. It has been revealed that he was struck by a dump truck. This is terrible. Dwayne was just making his resurgence with his career after his fallen stint with the Washington Commanders, if you will, and now was having a resurgence in Pittsburgh. Coach Mike Tomlin and the rest of the head of the organization said he was truly fighting for that starting QB position.
Right.
To have a life cut so tragically short at the age of 24.
That's the thing, and he was going to be 25 in just a couple of months. It was like at the beginning of May, so very, very young. Only been in the league 2 years, maybe 3 at most.
I think 3. I think it was 3. If I'm not mistaken.
You absolutely hate to see it, and how incredibly fucking sad it is. And the other thing, man, that's just kind of wild. I think what pissed a lot of people off this weekend is when it was first reported. It was reported by Adam Schefter saying,
"I forgot to pull that tweet." Yeah, I apologize.
He essentially was like, Dwayne Haskins, who did terrible with the Washington, was struggling with Pittsburgh, died, blah blah blah. Like, and the fucked up part is you're talking about a dude that, like, I believe he had a kid. He was somebody's son.
He was a husband as well.
He was a husband, and that's the first thing out of your mouth. Not like young quarterback. 24 years old, currently with the Pittsburgh Steelers, was tragically killed. You're going into his career. They'll talk about his career at some other point. The man literally just got announced to be dead, and Adam Schefter was one of the people to announce that. So to come at it that way is the most disrespectful shit I've ever fucking seen.
Then he tried to turn around on his podcast and make a real big, I didn't mean any disrespect, and I'm going to give his life and the credence and respect it deserves. It's too little too late. You can't backtrack when that was the first thing to come out your mouth.
You know what I might need to pull, though? We should also, I'll see if I can get it, so you keep talking, but there was one other really fucked up thing that happened where you had some fucking scout talking about him and being like, oh, here it is. I actually have it here. So give me a second, y'all. I'll pull it up so you can see it. This was more disgusting than Schefter, in my opinion. And you had obviously plenty of trolls that were like, well, I don't really see what the problem is. But listen to this. Listen to this. This was on one of the sports podcasts that was going on. And this was a scout.
Got to know the young man a little bit, but also from a scouting standpoint, you analyzed him over the years at Ohio State and coming into the league with the Washington Commanders and then going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, it's a terrible tragedy, and what wanted your thoughts on that, and also on the player, because you did chronicle his career very closely.
Well, Dan, I hate anytime anybody is killed or anybody dies. But he was a guy that was living to be dead, so to speak. They told him, don't under any circumstances leave school early. You just don't have the work habits. You don't have this. You don't have that. What did he do? Left school early. I always can remember this. We invited players to the draft, and he was one of the players we invited to the draft. And we were told, no, we're going to have our own party. His own party was a party at the bowling alley, charged him $50 to get into the bowling alley for his party. It was always something, It's one of those things. I'm never offside, but they keep calling me for offside. Is what it is. So, it's a tragic thing. Anytime anybody dies, it's tragic. And especially when you're 24 years old and you got your whole life ahead of you. But maybe if he'd have stayed in school a year, he wouldn't do silly things. I mean, when you're jogging on a highway, on a road like that leaves it open, because I tell you, guy has 2 drinks and he's just a little bit to the right side of the road and gets hit and killed. It's easy to happen.
Yeah.
I really don't understand. Well, I do. I should be clear. I understand that the value of a black man or black woman's life is insignificant unless you can do something for society as a whole.
Yeah.
You can play a sport.
Right.
You're good. You have a musical talent or something like that. But fuck this man's career out the gate. No one cares about that at first and foremost. A man has died. Why is the first thing you go to scouting and all this other shit in his play? It's irrelevant.
Not day one. You want to have this conversation.
That's what I'm saying. You have this conversation later,
but not the very first thing out of your fucking mouth, man. And like the stupid shit for me is this whole idea. You don't ever hear anything like, oh, he didn't have to work and he just did. He kind of the living to die.
Yeah.
Because a nigga decided he didn't want to go to the draft proper. He would rather do a thing with his family and with the community and also make a little money. Who the fuck cares? Like, to me, that's complete and utter bullshit, and that's the problem. That's that dog whistle shit where, again, we are talked about as commodities, and the minute we are no longer of any sort of value, let's talk about you however the fuck they want.
Yeah, we're no longer viable. We're no longer considered viable at all, and it really is fucking...
So, with that, man, we just want to send healing energy and love and grace to the Haskins family, and rest in peace to Dwayne. Hopefully you are chilling right now in a better place, man, and you're doing all right. So, thank you.
Thank you for watching Blerds in the Hood. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share. For full episodes, join us every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific over at twitch.tv/Blerds, the letter N, THEHOOD.